Good morning everyone, welcome to my channel. If it's the first time you're joining, thank you for joining. Please click on subscribe or follow, that you'll be notified of new videos. You'll see there's playlists. If you only want to follow the vegan baking or animal rights or the bipolar videos, then you don't have to go through all my videos to find the video you're looking for. So I had a request to please make a vegan pudding. So I'm going to show you how today how to make a vegan pudding. Just want to mention all my ingredients are always vegan. If there is something that you feel may not be vegan, please do let me know. I'll investigate, and if it is indeed not vegan, I will remove it and change the recipe. We are not clairvoyant, we learn as we go along. All my ingredients are always in metric, but in the description it will also be in imperial. So today I'm going to show you quite an easy recipe. It takes a bit of time, but it's quite an easy recipe and it's absolutely divine. It's the best pudding you can serve. You can make it beforehand, you can put it in the fridge, it will cool down. So I'm going to show you today how to make this awesome vegan pudding. So you're going to need a big bowl. Then what you're going to need to do is you're going to take 200 grams, that's about 2 packets, of pitted dates. Then you need to cut those dates up into a bowl. Okay, I've done this beforehand. You're going to add 100 grams of snipped dried fruit, or you can add raisins, it doesn't really matter. I just want to show you something, a little trick. Dates are quite sticky, so it's quite difficult to cut them. So if you take a date and you take a clean pair of scissors and you just cut them like this, problem solved. So that's quite an easy way to solve that issue. So you're going to take that, you're going to add 1 teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda. You're just going to add enough boiling water to cover it, and you're going to leave it there for a few hours or even overnight. And then it's going to become a nice mushy pulp that's going to become your final ingredient. So to start off with, to make this, you're going to need 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar. Now you can use white sugar, but not all white sugars are vegan. The reason for that is they whiten it with bone char. Now you can just make sure in our country, most countries, South Africa, it's not whitened with bone char, so it is indeed vegan. But you can use any sugar. You can use coconut sugar, you can use brown sugar, yellow sugar, whatever. I'm using brown sugar. So that's 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar. I'm going to add that to your bowl. Then you're going to need an oil. So you can use whatever oil you want to use. I prefer to work with coconut oil. It gives it a nice taste, and coconut oil is mostly vegan. So that's 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. You're going to add that to your sugar. So like I say, you can use any oil that you like, but I prefer working with coconut oil. Okay, now you're going to just mix this. You're basically just going to get the sugar wet. So you can cream this with a electric mixer. It gives a nice texture to the final pudding, but you don't have to. You can just mix it so that the sugar is wet. Okay. So then you're going to add into that 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence. So I've been wanting to do this one with caramel essence, which I will do next time, and see how it comes out if the taste is vastly different. So you're going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence to that. Okay, then you're going to mix that again. Make sure the vanilla is mixed with all the sugar. There you go. Now, in normal baking, this is where the eggs would come in. Now, people don't really know why eggs are in a recipe. The reason eggs are in a recipe is to bind all the ingredients. Now, there's a wonderful thing that a lot of people do not know. You can actually replace the eggs with a ripe banana. So I'm going to do that now. So you take your banana, you cut it into your sugar, just like that. Okay, and then you're going to just mash this into your sugar mix so that it's nice and fine. And you're going to mix all of this well. Okay. There you go. Okay. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to add to this 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Okay, so you're going to add 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Okay, that's that. Then you're going to add 1.5 cup of all-purpose flour. Okay, I've not tried it with any other flours. This is just all-purpose flour. You can try and experiment with different kinds of flours and see if it works. And then you're going to add 1/4 cup of raw oats. 1/4 cup of raw oats. So you're going to add that in. Then you're going to mix this. So you will see now that this is going to be quite dry. So that doesn't matter as long as most of the flour, or not most, all of the flour is wet, then you can start adding the next ingredient. So you basically just need to make sure that everything is wet. You really don't have to overmix this, it's not needed as long as all the flour is wet. So let me just do that quickly for you so that you can see what it looks like. Almost like when you would make scones, you know, you don't really have to overmix it, like that. There you go. Okay, now what you're going to do is you're going to add that dates, the dates that you soaked beforehand. So you're going to add that in. Okay. Then what I usually do, I just add on, I add some sunflower seeds. You can add any seeds. You can add some nuts if you would like. I like using sunflower seeds. You add that in. And then you're going to add the rind of one grated, the grated rind of 1 orange. You can also do this with lemon. If you do it with orange, it gives it a nice orangey flavor. If you do it with lemon, it gives it a nice lemony flavor. So you add that in. The rind of 1 orange. Okay. You're going to add that in. And now all you need to do is you need to really mix this very well. So I'll tell you a little story about this recipe. This recipe was actually given to me, developed for me by a meat eater. She knew that I was vegan, and she wanted to serve something for me, and she gave me, this is not the original recipe, I've changed it over time, but it was actually given to me by a meat eater who understood that I'm a vegan, and that was quite awesome. So that's just a little bit of a story about this. Okay, so there it is now. Now it's mixed really well. So this is actually going to be enough for 2 puddings. So the one I'm going to do the proper pudding, and the other one I'm going to do, if there's enough left, I'll see. Sometimes there's not enough left. I'll do a bread. Okay, so I'll show you how to do both in one go. Then you have a vegan pudding and you have a date loaf. So you can put that aside for a little bit. Then you're going to get yourself a nice, baking form. I use those ones. So you need to make sure that this is really well greased. Because of the sugar and because of the dates stickiness, it tends to stick onto your pan. So I'm going to use this. It's greased really well. Then what you're going to do is you're going to have a sauce that's going to come over the pudding once it comes out. I'll show you that just now. But the reason I'm making the sauce now is, I'll show you now. So you're going to add 2 tablespoons of apricot jam, 2 tablespoons of a syrup of your choice. Now I used strawberry syrup, quite an awesome syrup. You can use any syrup that you like. Just an interesting thing, not all syrups are vegan. That is because of the flavoring that they use. So just make sure on the label that it is vegan if you want to make a vegan pudding. Then you're going to put this in with a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, and then you're going to fill this container up to 250 milliliters of boiling water. Then you're going to stir this until everything is dissolved. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to take an apple. You take an apple, you don't have to peel it. You don't have to peel it. And you're going to slice thinnish slices from your apple. Let me quickly do that. Okay. Just cut that piece off there. Okay, so now you've got these slices of apple. So what you're going to do now is you're going to put all of this into that sauce. Okay, so just for a few seconds. Okay, now you're going to take this out of the sauce and you're going to put it into your baking dish. Okay, let me take the spoon out. So you can just put them randomly everywhere in there. The reason I put it in the sauce is just to moisten it a little bit so that it doesn't stick when you start baking. So let me just add some more and some more, and the last one over there. Okay, then you're going to peel a banana and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to slice that banana into that sauce. So let me do that. Okay, doesn't have to be too thin, doesn't have to be too thick. Okay, so just for a few seconds, you put it in there. People often ask why chefs work bare hand. It's because we feel the food. I've never seen a proper chef working with gloves because, I mean, you wash your hands and you make sure that they are clean. People sometimes get a bit squishy. Why do you work with your bare hands? Because you feel the texture of the food. You become part of the food. That's why we do it. That is why we do it. So let me just rinse my hands quickly. Okay, so that is done now. Okay, so that's basically what it looks like. Okay, just randomly into your baking dish. Then what you're going to do is, let me just move this out of the way. You see, I already greased the bread tin as well. In case there's enough left over, then I could do the bread as well. Okay, now let me just give this another stir to make sure. Okay, so now I'm going to pour this into this. I don't think I'm going to have enough for the bread as well. I might have. Because you can't make it too full. Then let's have a look. So you're just going to press this down with a fork because you want all of that to go over the fruit, over the bananas and the apples that you put in. So I'm not going to have enough for the bread now, so I'll do a data for you on another occasion. I'm going to add the rest of this in here. Now sometimes you have a little bit of dye extra, then I just do something else. Today I didn't have extra, so I'm not going to make bread. So I'm just going to do this. So you just press it down. And you can even just let it, do that, just to make sure that all that dough goes over the fruits. So this is now going to go into the oven at 350 Fahrenheit, 180 Celsius, 160, sorry. I'll put the exact temperatures in the description. 160 Celsius for 1 hour. Then it's going to come out. I'll stop the video now. I'll bake it for 1 hour, and then I'm going to show you what you do next. Then a sauce is going to come over. There's going to be a custard, and then you're going to have your vegan pudding. So I'm going to put this in now, and I'll be back, and then I'll show you what we do next. Hi, I'm back. So it came out of the oven. It was 1 hour. I turned it out onto a glass plate, and there it is. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So now what you're going to do is, remember that sauce I made in the beginning that I put the pieces of fruit in? Sorry, so you're going to heat that up in the microwave or on the oven so that your sauce is nice and hot. Okay, so I did this on the oven. Now you're going to pour this over this pudding. So because it's hot and because the pudding is hot, it's going to draw into your pudding, which is going to make it absolutely lovely and moist. So you can just make sure that you pour this all over. But it doesn't matter if it's on the plates, because you're going to now let this cool down. That's going to mix with the custard that you're going to put over, and it's going to give it a nice saucy taste. Okay, so that's that. Then the custard that I used, I'm not going to show you how to make the custard now. This is a vegan custard. So if you know how to make your own custard, you can use, custard powder. Just make sure it's vegan custard powder, and any vegan milk, rice milk, oats milk. I usually use oats milk because it's nice and creamy. Make a custard. You can use store-bought vegan custard. You just need to heat it up. The reason you want to heat it up is because of the heat it draws into your pudding. So you're going to now pour this all over your pudding. It's going to be in that circle there in the middle. You're going to pour it all over your pudding like this. I'm going to show it to you now. Let me just finish this. Okay, so now that's your pudding. Okay, so now this needs to cool down completely. You can let it cool down outside your fridge for a few hours. Then you can put it in the fridge. The reason for that is your custard and that sauce, everything is going to set. You can serve it warm if you want to. You can serve it warm. I like it when it's cold and everything is nice and set. So now you've got a beautiful pudding. You can now go and you can add crystallized orange peel on it. You can add cherries on it to make it, if you want to present something beautiful. But I'm going to show it to you. There it is. There it is. Absolutely divine pudding. So there's your pudding. It's absolutely gorgeous. It is easy to make. It is 100% cruelty free. It's 100% vegan. And it's a brilliant and fancy dessert to serve for your guests or to eat in one sitting like I'm going to do. There you go. Have fun making this. Let me know how it comes out. And there's your first vegan pudding. Thank you for watching. Take care. Love you lots. Bye-bye.